Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
It's Strangru, hello.
And folks, we're on Orsha today to check out a Division 2 map going on between whom, please, sir?
On the left-hand side in the blue, we have Khers Foxes playing as 28th Jager with a Maverick income. Right-hand side in the red, we have Sir Daniels playing 2nd New Zealand with a balanced income.
So we haven't ended up really going and see this kind of matchup quite a bit of time. So take us through it. Jaegers against the Kiwis. What's going to go on here?
Now, both good CQC divisions with, Jaegers with the Jaeger spam with MP40s, Kiwis with the Oplates, which are good raider troops. Good amount of fire support, good amount of just aircraft. So both sides actually taken out much aircraft. So it's probably just going to be a good old infantry brawl.
I think I find kind of funny over here is the 172 off map immediately on the field, immediately throws on a quick barrage. Unfortunately, probably not going to get the same kind of oomph out of it. He would have gotten even just a little bit further north.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to clear off that hill and then maybe rush some infantry up here, but the Staghound is a little bit southeast. Definitely hampered those plans as all the infantry are now out in the open, unloaded. Snipers providing fire support, of course, but his infantry push has definitely been stalled a little bit.
Yeah, and there's not really a whole lot to support that there, other than that one Pack 40, who's just a wee bit too far back. And you can see right now, yep, those snipers, that infantry is going to get torn to shreds. Looking elsewhere, Kitty Hawk coming in after that Pack 40. Nothing too surprising by that one, but I think he's going to actually do really quite well with that. Skadoosh.
Oh, almost getting a complete kill out, but a very effective bombing run from the Kitty Hawk. Yeah, the rest of the map is extremely quiet, as all the hot action happening in the northern center.
And kind of understandable, all things considered. It's one of those maps I feel like, again, where we see the edges either usually being just craziness, but, it's one of those weird things otherwise.
Yeah. I think Khers is really trying to play hard to capture the opposing hill, which is a very risky maneuver. As we're seeing here, just a few Staghounds just enough to things at bay. And without any proper armor support, Khers is just kind of stuck out in the open. And he doesn't really have anywhere to really push to take advantage of course, at A phase, B phase, Maverick momentum.
And that's going to be a problem over here, not because he's going to get buried in a phalanx of Oplates, but just because, like you said, if it's an infantry group over here, you want to have that bite and hold, doubly so if you're going to have that Maverick piece.
He really needed to bring a Stag with this initial push to actually help zone out this open field, because these Staghound Mark 3s aren't even, or Mark 2s I should say, aren't even that scary. They're scary against infantry, because they have a fire support gun. But they can't do bugger all against a tank.
Well, we're going to see that happen here doubly so, as just the Staghounds are being very, very aggressive. And let's think about this. One thing he's really going to be fighting against, and that's a Sturmjäger who is terrified of getting anywhere close to him. So this is not quite the hunting call we might have expected to see early on. But
yeah, it's definitely a failed push here from Khers.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. What to expect then by, I guess, a shove in the other direction? You might get a couple 45 mils in the field. Unfortunately, these things are going to be slow at best. There's finally a Stroke being brought on in. Another Pack 40 is being brought on in. Thing is, you don't need those against this light vehicles. You don't. Just unfortunately, I think he's going to donate another Pack 40 to the next bombing run. And he only gets 2 of them in the stack.
Yeah. His rather limited anti-tank firepower. But so far, yeah, Sir Daniels is in at 13-11. He's in a very good position, considering he's managed to hold off that attack and even moving in Staghounds in a rather aggressive manner. But considering no one has any Panzerfaust nearby, he's going to be rather safe to try and hunt down, well, mostly safe to hunt down Urset's trooper.
Absolutely.
Or even his flat gun. He might actually kill his flat gun.
Yeah, I'm probably going to. Remember, guys, of course, flak takes a lot of extra suppression over here in the meantime. And here's that Pack 40. He's going to get donated. Because here comes a Kitty Hawk. No, Spitfire. Okay. Yeah, still. Donates a Stag Hound, but at the end of the day, that's not too shocking. That's fine.
Yeah. Trying to strafe the flak gun, yeah, but fortunately the flak is fast enough to get out of dodge for the time being. It's definitely a unit you don't want to be losing so early on. We are seeing some aggressive play up north here. Seeing Sir Daniels move in some of his flamethrower troops clear through the forest. And down south, both sides instinctively invest in quite a bit here. So I think the Southern Theatre is going to be the next theatre of action.
Exactly. And let's think about what's going to get brought in down here. So we have a number of Jaeger Pioneers, which is Jaegers in general, faced off against Oplites and Shermans, right?
Yeah. Lots of Oplites, lots of Shermans. Really the 1-2 punch of second New Zealand. Third being, of course, Oil's lovely aircraft. But a southern push here could work quite well for Foxes, or Khers I should say. He's investing quite a lot here. And there's not a whole lot of defenses from Sir Daniels, even with the upcoming reinforcement. We've seen quite a big investment in the center of the Wolverine.
Yeah, and that Wolverine investment, really kind of interesting to bring both of them in here. Yes, there is a Stug. Yes, that is scary. No, I wouldn't say that's really the first thing I'd be super concerned about. I think I'd be more concerned about these edges.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be able to really make any offensive plays off that hill. It's just way too much such trooping to dig through in Khers' town up north. It's just going to be trading back and forth at long range.
Yes, indeed. So just a lot of Oplites, a lot of Piats, kind of a lot of just kind of the same thing here, going right back and forth against each other. But I mean, that's a wet noodle contest. That's kind of necessary here.
Yep. And down south, we're just seeing the actual big investment. We're seeing a reserve of ersatz trooping being brought on in. Khers taking some heavy casualties, trying to push on through, as Daniels is rolled again. And once again, I think the anti-tank problem is going to come into fruition, as that one Sherman pretty much has free reign, or mostly free reign, to blow stuff up. There is Panzerfaust infantry, and mostly anti-tank, grenade infantry, and a Panzer Strike. It's going to come down to the Panzer Strike.
Oh, without a doubt. But hey, Digger leader over here, Digger Piats. I mean, Panzer Strike, nah. Sherman's going to be more than fine, because they have the Oplites over here going to be able to kind of keep them at a distance.
I know, it's a lot of ersatz trooping to screen ahead. I honestly think that Panzerjäger actually has a good chance to receive the Sherman. Oh no, he's going to back off the Sherman. It's a smart move.
Well, and that's the thing. The Sherman's going to have, since it's got, like you said in the first place, yes, he is going to be screened by the Oplites. Yes, there's a lot of ersatz trooping that are going to be able to help screen for that as well.
Well, nothing to screen anymore.
Exactly. That'll happen. But, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the standard idea, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, Sherman now in a pretty good spot at long range. He's pretty much Panzer Strike proof. It's just about bringing in more diggers and infantry to just hold the line. As unless Khers can bring in some anti-tank of his own, he's going to have a hard time making progress.
But alright, checking back north real quick to kind of see things. Yes, there's more troops being delivered here. Panzerjägers and Jaegers in general, Oplites being delivered as well. But if Sir Daniels is up here 1311, he doesn't need to rush this. Again, we've been talking about this quite a bit of time. If we have all those lovely Maverick incomes going up against a balanced income in the meantime, who cares? Take as long as you want to. I'll be happy to have this thing go delay.
Yeah, so Daniels has definitely gotten an advantage in this A phase. Just being able to have that +1 tick over a Maverick player is huge. We are seeing Khers having potential momentum gains down south here, but really be able to capitalize it in a later on in phase. And he still, is a potential momentum down south. The other Sherman's being brought in, and Daniels is digging in.
Yep.
Gonna be a pretty bloody fight over the southern edge.
Yep, and again, diggers over here in the meantime. I mean, those guys are all about entrenching, man. All about entrenching.
Mm-hmm.
And having double Shermans over here as well. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the one problem we're really seeing here from Khers is the lack of long-range anti-tank, which is of course a problem with 28th in general, but he hasn't really been using aircraft or anti-tank guns to help curb yet. I mean, he's got like a lot of stacks in B phase, so he better start getting stunky quite quickly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But Air Slash Troop and Panzerjägers, Jaeger Pioneers, and this is the standard kind of trade-off that we've seen for quite a bit of time here. This is nothing too crazy.
Yeah. But still, just the Shermans to the fly support will be enough to give Daniels the advantage down south. It's going to come down to that stud coming in and potentially getting 1 or 2 good hits. Preferably hit, not misses. Oh, up north we're seeing some stag counts actually try to push into the northern town here. I think Sir Daniels is trying to take an offensive to Khers and try to cause a little bit of havoc up here.
But Air Slash Troop and Oplates, I mean, you know, I know initially when they kind of came out, yes, the Oplates, I kind of go, and I was maybe a little bit dismissive of them. That Raider trait makes them just deliciously good, especially against kind of the weaker material that we are seeing from the Jaeger. So.
A good beefy infantry. Just, yeah, Raider trait makes such a huge bloody difference. Just that 50% stealth bonus allows you to do some sneaky forest action.
Yeah, some gnarly stuff there, man. Stroke is going to be rather aggressive here. Not really sure I'd really be that gung-ho about troops down here to the south, especially when really all I get is those 16 strokes. But hey, if that's the case, that's the case.
Yeah, to be fair, he's gonna have to be pretty aggressive. He needs to make these risks with these armored vehicles if he wants to be able to make a play. Of course, all it takes is one good Piat hit to cause that Stug a lot of misery.
Absolutely. But Shermans, in the meantime, are engaging right down that little bit of that foresty way, and, you know, 2 roads diverge from the wood, and this one's covered in corpses, so.
Yeah, it's a very deadly choke point battle, southern flank. I'm really curious to see how north is going to go, because Oplates are getting, or about to get a foothold into that town. There are Sturmjägers in the area, which are very good at Sturming, and stopping people from Sturming against them. So this is going to redivert some of the attention, southern attack, up north here from Khers. He needs to deal with his town offensive.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's really going to be able to do that. Just that early losses in terms of just anti-tank positions, and indeed, I would argue, not really deploying a lot of 45 mil equipment earlier. And this is really kind of hurting him here. It's hurting him a lot. And he's overloading in the south just a crazy amount. I don't know if that's really the best call here at this point.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty choke point. He's taking some pretty heavy casualties. The Stags are pushing through. Let's see how it goes for him. The 2 Shermans are ready and rating, but does get 1 kill. This could actually tip the tide here with the Sherman being forced to retreat.
Well, and indeed, when 50% of that fire coming in, yes, it is still scary, but now we also have a 140 off map being brought on in. And yep, here's the first artillery barrage. Dropped a little bit long. I think that's really more by necessity than by design. Yeah, honestly, he's going to be fine because he can just continue moving up. All of the New Zealanders and Greeks are pulling off the hill, and that's going to be an actual victory for Khers on that flank. But the problem is, can he really... Well, he's still losing by a 13-11. He needs to get a lot more territorial flags, preferably maneuvering a little bit northeast, trying to get into the opposing town. But that's a lot of territory he's going to have to catch up to. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. 13-11, though. A lot of equipment, a lot of territory. First barrage coming on down. Going the other direction is actually kind of interesting. Again, the 210 in this particular case, the Oplates are probably not going to be there for too much longer. But to what end? We already have other Applates in the forest, Kitty Hawk coming in here as well. The Stroke is, I think, kind of in a unique position here. Let's put it mildly. A very, very unique position to the south. Surrounded, really. Doesn't have to worry too much about the infantry. But, okay, you fire your 12 HE shells at me, and other than that, who cares, right?
Yeah. One of the problems, of course, of New Zealand is, especially if you're spamming Applates, you don't have a whole lot of infantry, anti-tank. So it's really going to come down to Sir Daniels, of course, using roughly anti-tank, which he has a lot of, but he hasn't really deployed any, making more usage of the Wolverines, which are also very effective.
Oh, absolutely. And even engaging some of those lighter trucks here, let's not forget the fact that Opal Blitzes aren't really known for having thick skins, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Applates over here, the other issue with these Applates is that they're going right into an artillery strike. But of course, as I say that, the first of the 140, second of the 140, so actually start dropping down on the Jaegers and the Stugs. So this little boil over here is going to get popped very, very quickly.
Yeah, and Sir Daniels is pushing in just at the perfect time to counterattack. The Sherman getting on the hill, the Wolverine making the charge.
Well, there were two Wolverines together, and behind coming on up as well. One of them is down now. But this becomes a brutal knife fight. And the Stugs are coming out on top, shockingly enough.
Yeah. Which is quite surprising. At long range, they do have a little bit of extra armor bonus, of course. The Wolverine getting hit from the flank from a 45. I think it's also just the veterancy on the Stugs is definitely allowing them to come out top in these engagements.
Well, also, very quickly to the north, I know this... Yeah, north, exactly. As I say, there's a Sturmjäger and a Jaeger kind of just flexing out, and suddenly it's a 15-9 as the front lines have been completely blown through. By
yeah. Khers is a bit of a late bloomer, but he is definitely making it count towards the end of B phase. He's got bloody Sir Daniel surrounded up north. I mean, there's still a lot of firepower he needs to contend with, but, a good bombing run there do a lot of damage, and he's committing with the reinforcement.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what Khers needs.
And Sir Daniels is getting reduced ridiculously quickly. I think the only ones to really watch out for this Catadrome is the Kiwi flamethrowers up here to the north. And indeed, they're getting picked off one by one, because the Jaeger Pioneers, he might trade out, but still, this is just a sideshow. The most important thing's happening in those buildings.
Yep. And we're seeing Khers also actually pushing more towards the center of the map, just sending in some ersatz trooping to try and capture a few flags or two. Actually, now he's going to try and attack the opposing hilltop once again.
And I think so at this point, he has not timed it brilliantly, but he's still able to get at least one type of squad up there onto that hill. Now he's bringing a couple more Jaegers. Unfortunately, the squad he might have wanted to take the hits did not.
Yeah. And we have seen, Khers has gotten Stoogie. He has Stoogs all over the bloody map. And this is allowing him to actually make his offensive plays. He's pretty much playing 28th Jager more of a tank division, really.
Which is a weird thing to hear, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very weird thing to hear. But the funny thing here, too, is that while there's a 17-pounder on the map, and indeed it probably will kill at least some Stug somewhere, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. So really, for Sir Daniels, he just needs to try and... It's really going to come down to a battle armor, it feels like. Fortunately, it's only 16 Stugs he has to contend with, which is definitely quite durable amount. And thankfully, due to his A-phase, or I'd say A-phase advantage, but it's a -3 for Sir Daniels. He's going to need to pick up a bit of slack.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really just, it's making me think of that old song, 16 Stugs and what do you get? I mean, right there, clearly it's a -3. And it might even be a -4 here in a second. I mean, jeez, this is one of those things that I didn't expect to ever see happen.
It's happened in, 3 minutes.
Yes. Yeah, this is insane.
Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked too, how fast Sir Daniels collapsed all over. It was a few effective trades, a surprise attack up north, and Khers is in a really good position now. He has these very scary like infantry blobs here, and getting the Stooks into long range positions to deal with the Shermans, and at long range they're very scary against Sherman, of course. Just damn.
Dam is a good way to put it, because the dam has opened. It's 17-7 now. Yes, we are to face these 18-6, 17-7's back and forth here, as that complex to the northern side to kind of get traced back and forth. And the funny thing and kind of sad thing is that these oblites, if they just let these troops come just a little higher up here, yes, the Sherman Beast is going to help out with this, that Bofors would be able to help engage as well.
Oh yeah. Sherman coming in hot. Maybe a little bit too hot, as there's potential Panzerfaust playing that forest.
For the moment, he's okay. Jaeger, though, over here could move south and pick him up. Not going to do so, which is a bit of a shame. Indeed, right now that Jaeger's going to get torn to shreds, I think. He's going to engage that Bofors and goes down almost instantly. So 17-7, though, still. And the southern town actually is going to fall under the control of the Jaegers. Jeez, another one here.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still trying to comprehend what happened.
Yeah, I can't conceive of this.
But like everything's gone. Like he was doing so bad early on, but now he's pushing on all sectors and all flanks with lots of infantry in the tanks.
I legitimately thought we were going to have a standard Maverick balance thing, that in C phase, now we're going to start to see, our Maverick player just kind of start to fold here like a cheap card table. And indeed, if you look at his deck, he really shouldn't be having this kind of success here.
Yeah, it's really coming down to the Stugs, I feel like. Because he didn't have them early on, but in that B phase when he brought all of them, he managed to trade efficiently with the Shermans and the Wolverines, blowing them up. And that's allowed him to move up his infantry. And as Sir Daniels, he just losing out in that anti-tank game, not getting up those 17-pounders maybe a little bit sooner, is really bugged him. And of course, the New Zealand infantry oblites, lovely to spam, but they can't do anything against Stugs, even if they get close.
Well, let's not kid ourselves that it's just the 17-pounders that would have turned the tide. 6-pounders would have turned the tide.
Yeah.
The Stog is not exactly known for like its thick skin. It's not some main battle tank. This is a tank. Oh, it's an assault gun. Come on, it's not. Yeah, sorry. I'm just flabbergasted. Words are failing me right now. And with that in mind, I mean, geez, we're crossing the 23-minute mark. It's 20-4. Khers is up over Sir Daniels, and what can he do?
Nothing. I think we can just do the rest of the match in silence. Like, it's done.
Yeah, but like. Yeah,
it's just such an overwhelming amount of firepower on all flanks now. Like he's trying to make his attack up north and down south and everywhere. I mean, it's just a full-on battlefield battle. But the Jaegers are way too dug in, way too much firepower. I mean, down south the Wolverines make a decent play, but the Stug 3 is here. Stug 3 is ready to rumble.
Yeah, and there's no healing factor in the world that's going to bring you back from that. I mean, we're only getting barely away from getting those ridiculous bleeds as... Yep, there we go. Our men are about to collapse. Yep. Jeez. Yeah, Sir Daniels, and you know what? I can't even fault him for that. I can't fault him for that. Like, what do you do at that point? If you look at the KD, it doesn't make sense. Let's see.
Yes.
They're smack on. If you look at the chronology, that doesn't make sense either. Like this by all stretch of the imagination should be an even game, completely.
Yes.
But look at the kills early on. Gallagher, stag count. What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills there. Early HMG, 4 kills there. Stag count, 4 kills. I mean. A 17-pounder, he's got 5 kills. Like, we have some standouts over here. And you look at the other side, that's not really the tail of the tape. You have one Stog who's just killed everything that came towards him, and that's it.
Yes. I don't know how to analyze this match anymore. It's just... Good job, Khers.
Yeah. Really well done. And I'm sorry, Sir Daniels, that we seem to be harping on this, but it blows our minds here. So really, really unfortunate luck there. And Khers, way to not give in. Way to not to throw in that towel. Well done, sir.
Yeah. You buggered up for the first 17 minutes, but you made it back in the second half.
It's true. It's true. Folks, this is why you play until every single one of those 4 quarters in the game. That's why. Wow. But all right. Well, folks, this is the both of us flabbergasted. Until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.